After a long career spanning 23 seasons, Kevin Harvick has decided to call it quits on full-time NASCAR Cup Series competition. He leaves behind a defining and everlasting legacy that's sure to resonate with NASCAR fans young and old for years to come. This little 4-episode miniseries is dedicated to him. Reach over and pull those belts tight one more time. This is the Kevin Harvick Appreciation Tour. Hey guys, Brandon Gomez here, back again with another video, and welcome to the first episode of the Kevin Harvick Appreciation Tour, rating every 2023 Kevin Harvick paint scheme. This will be a video compiling all the Kevin Harvick paint schemes ran this year that I have not already rated. So, paint schemes that I rated in the patriotic, throwback, and confirmed cup paint scheme videos will not be included in this video because I already rated them. So, just wanted to clear that up. Without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we have his Mobile One primary scheme. A big downgrade from last year. Last year's was a simple paint scheme, but it looked good. This one is just white with stickers on it. One thing I will give this scheme is that the Pegasus looks really good there on the side of the car. It takes up a lot of space, and that's really the only compliment I can give to this scheme. 2 out of 10. Next up, we have his Brake for Bush car that he ran at the Bristol Dirt Race. What I really like about this paint scheme is how it has it's painted like it's, dirty. Because, it's a dirt track. And it's got, the happy little smiley face with the tongue out that's associated with Kevin Harvick. Because he uses that as his pit sign. And it's a sponge, and it's washing away all the dirt. This was a really cool paint scheme. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Kevin Harvick's Hunt Brothers Pizza Real Tree paint scheme that he ran at Martinsville in the spring. He may have run it more times in the year, but Martinsville Spring is the only race I can think of off the top of my head. The black and the camo pattern go well together, but other than that, I don't really like the scheme that much. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have the green Hunt Brothers Pizza Real Tree paint scheme. I don't like this one. That color contrast between the green and the camo pattern is just ugly to me. I don't like it. 2 out of 10. Next up, we have the Bush for the Farmers paint scheme that he ran at Kansas. He's run this scheme before in the past, back in 2020, 2021, and just last year in 2022. And it looked really good in all those years. I really like the cornfield backdrop that this paint scheme has. It's really good. Bush always does this with their special paint schemes. They have some sort of backdrop relating to whatever the sponsor is, whatever the flavor. And they always pull it off really well. 8 out of 10. Next up, we have his 29 All-Star car that he ran at North Wilkesboro. And it's a throwback to his first career win at the 2001 Atlanta Spring Race. When this paint scheme was revealed, I was geeking. I was geeking over this paint scheme. It's beautiful. Though the blue Bush logo, not sure about it. It would have been a lot better if Gear Wrench sponsored this race, because, it's just only a few letters away from being Good Wrench. Gear Wrench should have been the sponsor for this race. Big missed opportunity. But whatever. This paint scheme it's beautiful. Beautiful. 10 out of 10. Next up, we have this special Mobile 1 paint scheme that he ran at Sonoma. It's not good, but it's better than just the plain white scheme. At least it has some sort of design to it. 4 out of 10. Next up, we have his Busch Light Peach paint scheme. Busch Light Apple is gone, and to replace it comes Busch Light Peach. Look, I love orange as much as the next guy, but I'm just not feeling it with this paint scheme. I think it might just be the shade of orange that I don't like, but yeah, I don't really like this scheme that much. 4 out of 10. Next up, we have his throwback to Tony Stewart that he ran at the Indy Road Course. When this paint scheme was revealed, I was geeking. Just like how I was when his North Wilkesboro car was unveiled. It's beautiful. Though, one thing I do want to nitpick about it is the blue side number. On the original scheme, it was white. And it bothers me to no end. It bothered me when the scheme was revealed, and it still bothers me now. It would be a 10 out of 10 if it weren't for the blue number. 9 out of 10. It hurts me to say that. Next up, we have his Mobile 1 Take 5 paint scheme that he ran at the Southern 500. When this paint scheme was revealed, I was excited because they brought back the 2022 scheme for this race. And they made the number red and yellow and added some Take 5 logos to it. Not sure I'm liking the color contrast with the number and the black and white paint scheme, but it's definitely better than just a plain white Mobile 1 scheme. So, yeah. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have his Sunny D paint scheme that he ran at the Kansas Fall race. If you've been a viewer of the channel long enough, you'll know how much I love the Sunny D paint schemes. I've been saying it since 2019. I've been saying the same thing for 4 years. I love the Sunny D paint schemes. And this one is no different. It's beautiful. And it's a shame that the Gold Series diecast of this got canceled in 164, I'm pretty sure. But it came out in Authentics, but it doesn't look as good as it would on a Gold Series base. And that's a crying shame. But anyway, yeah. Beautiful paint scheme. I love it. 10 out of 10. Next up, we have his Busch Light Camo paint scheme that he ran at Talladega in the fall. Similar to the one that he drove last year, except this one has baby blue highlights. Last year's scheme had orange highlights, and I like the orange one better. But the baby blue one is still good. And this paint scheme brings back bad memories, since this is the same race where he lost in a photo finish to Ryan Blaney. Man, if only the whole field didn't wreck behind them. Harvick could have gotten that push from Riley Herbst to get the win. Guess it just wasn't meant to be. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have his pink Ream paint scheme that he ran at the Charlotte Roval. Obviously, this is a breast cancer awareness paint scheme, and he ran this paint scheme last year at the Darlington Throwback race, and I gave it a low rating because as a throwback, it just didn't work. And yeah, it was meant as a throwback to a breast cancer awareness scheme he ran in 2012, and I gave it a low rating because it looked nothing like the original paint scheme. But now that I'm just rating it off the paint scheme itself and not how good it is as a throwback, I can give it a more fair rating. Not sure which one I like better, the pink one or the red one, but whatever the case, it's a good paint scheme. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have his Mobile 1 paint scheme that he ran at the Las Vegas Fall Race. That's commemorating the fact that he has raced for 308,238 miles, which, if I'm doing my math right, is about a little over 12 times the circumference of the Earth, which is insane to think about, but also not surprising since he's had a really long career. But still, it's crazy to think about. I'm kind of iffy on this paint scheme. Not sure I like the color contrast between the beige and the black. Or I think that's supposed to be beige. I don't know what color that is, but I'm not liking the color contrast there. But the red and white in between kind of looks good, and it goes well with the black, but that little beige part at the bottom just 5 out of 10. Next up, we have his Budweiser car that he ran at Homestead. When this paint scheme was revealed, I was excited because I loved the Budweiser paint scheme. It's a really beautiful paint scheme, and it's a shame that it had to be replaced by Busch in 2016. But it came back for one race only, and it was spectacular. What I will give this scheme over the original is that since the numbers moved forward, it gives the Anheuser-Busch logo in the middle a chance to shine, because on the original scheme, it's covered up by the 4. But with the forward number, you can actually see it, which gives this paint scheme its charm. 10 out of 10. It's a crying shame he didn't win the race, because it was in his honor, too. It was called the Forever 400. Can't win them all. Next up, we have his red Hunt Brothers pizza car that he ran at the Fall Martinsville race. They brought this paint scheme back for this year, and my point still stands that I prefer the red over the green. It looks better in my opinion. 6 out of 10. You know, for Kevin Harvick's final race, you would think that maybe they do a throwback to a previous paint scheme that he ran. Maybe his classic Goodwrench scheme, or his Daytona 500 win, that classic Shell Pennzoil scheme, or maybe his first Cup start. Maybe rerun the scheme that he ran at North Wilkesboro, but with a 4 instead of a 29, or anything other than this. What is this? What? It's literally just his regular Busch scheme, but it says Harvick instead of Busch. I, along with many other people, were greatly disappointed that this would be the final paint scheme that he'd race in the Cup Series. This paint scheme is a travesty. The Busch scheme on its own is a phenomenal paint scheme. I love it. But as a final ride, it's disappointing. What they could have done was do something similar to what Terry Labonte did for his final ride. It was a combination paint scheme of his first Cup start and his 2 Cup championships. They probably could have done the same, and they should have done the same for Kevin Harvick. Don't know what combination of paint schemes they could have gone with, because there's really no limit on what they could have done. They could have done his first Cup win, his first Daytona 500, and his first championship. They could have done his 2 Busch championships and 1 Cup championship. They could have done anything. But Instead, they rerun a scheme that they already ran 4 years ago. And makes for a disappointing final ride. 0 out of 10. This is not how you respect and honor a legend like Kevin Harvick. Sorry for the little mini rant there, but I'm just really upset that this was his final ride. And with that, every paint scheme that Kevin Harvick ran in 2023 has been given its proper rating. What do you think? Do you think some of these should have been rated higher? Do you think some should have been rated lower? How would you rate these paint schemes? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of me, be sure to follow all my socials, like my Twitter, my Instagram, my Threads, and join my Discord server. Links to all those are in the description down below. Leave a like on the video, and subscribe to my channel for more motorsports content. Thank you all so much for watching. That's it for me. Peace.